Welcome, everyone. Today, we are diving into something truly transformational. We're talking about taking back the controls, about becoming the driver of your own life. Think of this as a masterclass in recapturing your own self-agency.
So let me just start by asking you a question. And be honest with yourself. Do you ever get that feeling, that nagging sense that you're just kind of going through the motions? Like your choices aren't fully your own, and maybe some invisible force is pulling the strings? Well, that feeling we're all chasing, the opposite of that, is what we call self-agency. It's the absolute core of personal freedom. It's your ability to make your own choices across every part of your life, your career, your emotions, your spirit. It's really about being the driver, not just a passenger along for the ride.
But if you're not in the driver's seat, then who is? Well, it turns out there's a villain that can quietly take over the control center. And this saboteur isn't some outside enemy. Nope. It's a state of being we all fall into from time to time. We're going to call it autopilot. Now, this saboteur, this autopilot mode, it doesn't just operate randomly. Oh no, it has a playbook. It works through this kind of insidious agreement that we unconsciously sign up for. Let's call it the autopilot contract.
And this is way more than just having a few bad habits. You've got to think of it like an invisible contract you've signed that is actively working against you. It's draining your energy, it's sabotaging your best efforts, and it's basically throwing up roadblocks to any real progress you're trying to make.
So, how does it hold you hostage? Well, it binds you to old beliefs that don't serve you anymore. It keeps you chained to the past, stopping you from growing. And anytime you try to make progress, it torments you. But here's the biggest one. It traps you in this victimhood mindset, making you feel completely and utterly powerless.
Okay, so that sounds pretty bleak, right? So how do you break the contract? How do you actually fight back? This, right here, is the turning point. And the key is you're not trying to manage the villain. You're evicting it entirely. It's time to take back the control center for good.
And the shift when it happens is just profound. You move from that victimhood ideology where you feel powerless, stuck, always reacting, to what we call an architect mindset. And as the architect, you are powerful. You're not stuck in the past. You're authoring the future. You stop just reacting to life and you start creating it. You're no longer imprisoned. You're free.
So, how do we get there? I mean, what's the actual path? It really breaks down into 4 key steps. Number 1, you have to acknowledge the discomfort. That's your alarm bell telling you something's got to change. 2, you demolish the old structures, the old beliefs. 3, you rebuild, but this time with intention. And finally, number 4, you get to author your brand new story.
Okay, let's really focus on that rebuilding phase because this is where the magic happens. This is the moment you stop being just a character in your story and you become the lead architect. And the whole foundation for this rebuilding process is a pretty simple chain of events. It all starts with your beliefs. When you intentionally change a core belief, it starts to reshape your attitude. And that new, empowered attitude, it gives you a completely different view of yourself and the world around you. So here's the architect's blueprint in action. You're consciously reshaping your attitudes, adopting a much more holistic worldview. Instead of withdrawing, which is the old autopilot response, you actually feel inspired to contribute. A really practical tool for this is practicing a daily catch and release of negative thoughts. Don't let them stick around. It's all about embracing a more present, intentional approach to leading your own life.
So, after all this work, what does it actually feel like on the other side? What is this new reality when you're living with full agency, when the architect is firmly in charge?
Well, it's like night and day. The old force, the autopilot, it suffocates and restrains you. It stops you from reaching your potential. But this new force that you've built, it does the exact opposite. It lifts and supports you. It pivots you towards courage and nourishes your resilience. And here's a really tangible result. Think of your personal energy like a bank account. That old saboteur was making constant withdrawals, just draining you dry. But now, with the architect in charge, your energy recovery bank starts to fill up. In fact, it begins to overflow, which means you have more to draw from for yourself and so much more to give to the world. And all of this leads to a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. You're no longer operating from a place of scarcity or defense. You're coming from a place of presence and abundance.
Your whole mindset becomes this declaration: I am here, I have something to give, and I'm ready to receive what others have to share. So we'll end here. This whole thing is more than just an explainer, it's a blueprint. You've seen the path, from being a hostage of your own autopilot to becoming the architect of your reality. The keys are right here, in your hand. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?